Okay, I think we're live. So the way this works is if people post comments on Facebook, we should be able to see them in the... Have you guys got a comments thing that you can see?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, there's like a chat bar. Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, so if anything does come in, I'll put it up on the screen so we can answer any questions. If not,
Cool.
I've got loads of questions, so it's all good.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick intro. Hi everyone, I'm Lou. I'm one of the friendly neighborhood admins here on BMF666. This is being live streamed to Facebook group, also my YouTube channel and Twitch. Although I don't think anyone actually follows me on Twitch, but I had the option to do it to Twitch, so I did it to Twitch. Anyway, recently had the bright idea to do some live stream like chats with bands that are either playing Bloodstock or have played Bloodstock. So I thought I'd start with one of my favourites from this year's lineup, which is Ofnus. Am I saying Ofnus right?
Close enough. Welsh, the F is more of a V, so it's like Ofnus.
Ofnus.
But that's nitpicking. It's close enough. It's fine.
Ofnus. Okay, I know now. Okay, so I've got some like music-y kind of questions, and then I've also got some random questions. So,
Cool.
But to start us off, let's do some introductions. It's like when you're doing a meeting at work and everyone's like, oh, let's go around the room and introduce each other. So I've done me. So if we hand over to William.
Yeah, sure. So I'm William. I'm the vocalist and I guess main lyricist for the band. That's I do offer a bit of some musical production advice here and there, and I also mix and do that side of the record as well.
He sells himself short. He contributes an awful lot.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, keeping on the modest front. So I'm Alan. I'm rhythm guitarist for Ofnus, but I do an awful lot of the songwriting. I actually sort of co-founded the band with Ethan, who's the drummer. But Ethan's not very tech-minded, so he's avoiding joining today because the chances are everything would have gone horribly wrong.
That's fair.
Yeah, I kind of browbeat these guys into doing my bidding, and then it works out okay.
Cool. So look at me being fancy with my banners. So why Ofnus? I'm going to say it right now. Why Ofnus? What does the name mean?
So the name it's a Welsh-derived word because that just makes life easier because most of the English word name, like band name, is already taken. But it's a word that means fear, to be afraid, to be scared, to be frightened. So it was more just we started writing the music and then we kind of thought, well, we probably should think of a band name, and then that just kind of, at the time for the tracks we'd written, made sense. And there's a number of other sort of logistical reasons which also help. It's short, so
Yes.
It's easy to design a logo for. It's relatively memorable, and yeah, it just feels a bit unique. So I think all in all, we just kind of settled on it. It worked.
And even without knowing how to pronounce it or what it meant, it does feel very black metal, doesn't it?
Yeah, I
think
think
it
it
does.
sounds miserable.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you have any other names in mind, or was it just that one from the get-go?
Oh God.
It kind of toyed with ovni to start with, which is kind of a slight variation on the word. But I think we ended up going with Ofnus. I think it just sounded a bit better. I mean, ovni was a little close to a Norwegian word, oven, which just means oven. And we thought maybe not.
Your bakers.
Yeah, basically. That actually kind of helped in a weird way because we started off by when we did our first series of tracks, we just called every song by different brands of oven. It made life easy, and then we gave them real names, and now we can't remember what the real names are because we just keep calling them the oven names.
You should re-release it with the oven titles.
Yeah, but the first track's called Smeg.
Yes, you should re-release it with the oven titles.
Yeah, okay, fair point.
That's an awesome name. So how would you describe your music?
Ooh, sad.
The big sad. Don't undersell it. Yeah, just epic misery. If you take where we, at least the first record anyway, because we're trying not to think too hard about the second record, which is pretty much already done as well. The first record is, yeah, I know, don't get started. It's just gone far too quick. But the first record is very much kind of atmospheric black metal roots with a bit of sort of doom prog and sort of melodic elements thrown in. And you could almost argue some folk in there as well. But at the end of the day, we just want the sound to be big and we want it to kind of evoke a bit of a kind of sad face reaction.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, definitely kind of, yeah, with big atmosphere, but overall kind of, yeah, that sort of sorrow and trepidation kind of feelings. That's what we want.
Yeah, kneeling down in a thunderstorm whilst you're getting chucked on by the rain.
That's a brilliant description. It definitely has like a gloomy vibe.
Yeah, it's something we'll be continuing into the second album as well. That's very much our staple, I think. I think once you know you're comfortable in there, you should probably hammer that nail home.
Yeah, I've got to say, and it's been one of my favorite albums this year to like listen to, like when I'm reading or writing, that kind of thing. It's like good atmospheric music.
No, that's cool. Yeah, no, I'm glad you're enjoying it. It has got a weird element of you can kind of listen to it either in the background or foreground, which I don't know. I'm pretty happy with. To be fair, we're all quite happy with how it's turned out. Like I said, trying to avoid being too focused on album 2, which is very much taking limelight for us at the moment. But for first outing, we're over the moon with it.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Also really good for walking moodily through the park with it on headphones.
I need to do more walking. I work from home.
Yeah.
I don't leave the house. This is what happens when you play black metal. You become a hermit.
Okay. If your music could be used as a soundtrack in any film, which film would it be?
Ooh, that's tough. I'm trying to think what films are kind of, sort of sorrowful and then kind of with like, triumphant pieces to it almost. It's kind of difficult to say, really.
If The Mist was less horror based, I would have said Stephen King's The Mist. I think it's called The Mist, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
That one would work because that's bleak as all hell. Our other guitarist would have said any of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, most likely, just because he likes mountain.
Actually, yeah, okay. Across those like open vista shots of could be brilliant actually.
Hey, what's your favorite track on the album and why?
Yeah.
Go on, Will.
It's 1,000 Lifetimes, I gotta say it. And I think Alan might agree with me here.
Yeah, there is a close second for me. I do like Echoes as well, which is the track that precedes it. So 1,000 Lifetimes is the last track on the album, and Echoes is the one that precedes it. Echoes is one we haven't actually played live yet. We will soon. We're going to change that. Yeah. But 1,000 Lifetimes is, I don't know, it feels like it's got a bit of everything. So it's got the atmospheric black metal staple riffs. It's got your blast beats when you need to, but it's also got sort of long prog building up sections which just have layer upon layer upon layer, slowly getting more and more intense until you've got this big crescendo at the end. I know it's a really cathartic track to play as well as listen to. So I'd agree with Will.
Definitely. Yeah,
it's really
I think
satisfying.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's very much the we went for the sort of proggier, longer song there, and it's played out a lot. Yeah, it's got nice. It's got all the different sort of movements and it ebbs and flows quite nicely. So yeah, it does. It is a favorite, I'd say. It's definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
Cool. What has influenced Ofnus the most? So in terms of lyrics, sound, imagery.
I mean, lyrically, I think there's been a bit of an influence there from Dylan Thomas. Kind of his poetry has influenced us a little lyrically there. I think, you know, I mean, one of the songs, "The Endless Grey," is influenced by me kind of being sat on the beach before our sort of first photo shoot and just sort of looking out on the horizon, you know, and kind of writing from there. I think a lot of the lyrics are kind of deeply personal. They come from like a, you know, kind of a very personal place of kind of sorrow. There's, you know, wrestling with your own feelings, I think, which, you know, is a bit unusual for black metal, I guess. There's a lot of kind of satanic imagery and things like that, and we're a little changed from that. Yeah, that's the lyrical side anyway.
Yeah, I could probably agree with quite a lot more introspective, I think, more than anything else. Not to say that it doesn't happen in black metal, but it's, you know, we kind of hone in on that more than anything else. And it's almost about finding comfort in your own misery rather than just being, oh, I'm sad. No, actually, it's okay. You know, you can be sad. Just enjoy it a little bit. Just not too much, you know. As far as sound goes, sounds weird. So we're a mixed bag. And I'll give a bit of background. We're all from different bands originally. This isn't like our first rodeo. Will's from a black metal band called Black Pyre that's just gone hiatus. So's Ethan, the drummer. I'm from a Groaner, which is a lot more corpse paint, you know, the standard kind of almost tongue-in-cheek black metal fare. We've got Rich, who's originally from a melodic death metal band called Democritus, and we've got James, the other guitarist from Blind Divide, who are groove metal. They're nothing to do with the kind of music we do right now. But their different sort of playing styles actually influence and feed into how our riffs work and the sort of songwriting style we do. And then if you're looking at other musical inspirations, I would say film score's a big one. So we go back to films, Lord of the Rings. If you look at the soundtrack for that, it's stunning. I love sort of injecting stuff like that into our music. And then if you're looking at other bands, then you can look straight to Patriots like Winterfell, say, or they're all, you know, staples of the sound right now. But we're also trying to do something a little bit different rather than just being another copycat in what's quite a saturated genre. So, and there's influence coming from everywhere, but I couldn't really pin it down to anything in particular as most, but it's coming from all over the shop, and I think that soup makes for something a little bit more unique.
Yeah, definitely very soupy.
Yeah, really soupy.
And
Ofnus, definitely very soupy.
Yeah, sound soupy, band soupy, vocalist soupy,
Soupy and
drummer
a little bit
after
sad.
the end of the set very soupy.
Oh yeah.
The less said about that, the better. Imagery, we didn't answer that. Imagery. We wear black shirts and black trousers. We just don't want it to be too much about imagery. We want your own brain to do the imaging, I guess, more than anything else.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we did use a bit of imagery then in our music video. We had a music video for Grains of Sand, and you know, kind of the obvious imagery there was plenty of sand. So we filmed in the sand dunes at Merthyr Mawr. You know, there's quite a lot of imagery of like sort of sand running through your fingers. It was kind of, you know, sort of about like the sand in the hourglass of life, and I think that was kind of the main imagery there.
And then we buried you.
Yeah, they did bury me in some sand. It was very, very cold that day.
Wouldn't recommend
it was really good though. It was really good fun.
I'd like to think that the bits that didn't make it into the video was you guys making sandcastles.
It was too cold. It was absolutely Baltic. Yeah, fair play. Will took it like a champ, but we had to sort of get him out of the sand and reset a couple of times just because of it must have been about 2 degrees, I think, at the time. It was.
Oh yeah, it was cold. It was very, very cold. But luckily, we all had a lovely roast dinner afterwards, so that was fantastic.
Oh, carvery, yeah, it was a good time. Do that again.
We should.
Just sticking with the influences for a second. What is like your weirdest influence that people wouldn't associate with you?
I would have said like video game music, but again, that's not actually that weird because it's not uncommon for like metalheads in particular to like enjoy a good game and a bit of another way of being able to escape reality. So, but like Little Nightmares 2, great game. Listen to the soundtrack, and when you're playing it, actually listen. It's amazing. So that actually helps a lot. But yeah, beyond that, a good shower helps to influence. I don't know, it's weird. Best ideas you think of come in the shower.
I agree.
You'll just be in the shower and you go, "Ooh, that's a good riff. I should probably write that down." But after I'm out of the shower.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously.
Oh, those weren't very surprising. I was expecting like Taylor Swift or Disney songs or something.
Yeah.
No,
Black metal,
Not really.
can't do that.
No.
That has some credibility.
I laugh, but I love both of those things.
That's
Anyway, you mentioned your other bands. How do you balance Ofnus with your other projects?
Very good question. We kind of almost don't, in a sense that I think Ofnus is taking a bit of a front seat for quite a lot of us at the moment. Not that the other projects are necessarily dead or anything, but I know Black Pie. I just put them on a kind of bit of a hiatus at the moment to take a bit of a break. And I know Agrona are doing a similar thing. So I think historically, just a little bit ago, there was a bit of balancing act to do, but at the moment, I think Ofnus has really taken the front seat. Yeah.
I think there's a bit of that, and there's a bit of, because we've all been in bands before, we understand what the good and bad points about being in a band entails. So, it is difficult at points with bands when you come across certain sticking areas where you might not agree with a band member about something. Whereas with Ofnus, it's different in the sense that we've kind of approached everything with a plan at the start, and we've tackled all these issues before we've even started writing music. So we know exactly what we want to get out of the project, and everyone's on board, and there's no surprises. So we know how we run the finances, we know how we run practice. Everyone's got a role, everyone's got different jobs and responsibilities, and there's always someone who can pick up the slack. So in a weird way, Ofnus runs itself.
Can you organise my life, please?
I wouldn't say I'm good at organising life, but in terms of running a band, you don't want drama. At the end of the day, bands rarely make money. So why should you entertain doing something that is such a time investment like a band if you're not going to find fun in doing it? And the only way you can make sure it's fun is by taking out the drama aspect. So just doing that at the start, it's been a lifesaver for us. And well, I don't think there's much that's gone wrong for us so far. Touch all the wood in the room, but it's I think we've done well because we've planned for it, and that's very much something we'll be carrying on doing.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think we the no drama approach is definitely very apparent. We're all kind of committed, and we're all well practiced as well, and we just sort of work well together. I think we all take a bit of a professional stance on it. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it right.
Yeah, pride in your work.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. And you haven't been together as Ofnus very long, have you? Or have you?
No,
not really. Ethan messaged me when I was in Damnation. I was drunk, and it was 2021. So that's when he dropped me a message and went, "Do you want to do a project?" And me just basically went, "Yes." That was literally the only answer. I'm going to message you back when I'm not drunk. So I got home, and then I wrote half the first album, and then I think we started practicing that in April 2022, April last year.
Yeah, something like that.
We had Ethan in the drum studio probably July. Yeah, it was July because it was really hot. And then we had the album mixed and mastered by November, and then we went out, found a label, and it released. You can make things happen quickly if
fast.
you just, if you know what you want and you make a plan to make it happen, and everyone's on board and everyone's getting with the program, then it doesn't need to take long. You just need to pull your fingers out, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
having that vision.
You've already got that second album pretty much done.
Sorry, I can tell you that it's written. It's pretty much complete demo phase. So we're just at the point where we are practicing it to the point where we know it works live, and once we know it works live, then we'll go and take it to the studio, record it, and then work out what the release schedule will be. I would tentatively say Q3 or Q4 next year, but our record label thinks it's a step up, and we know it's a step up, so we're happy with it, and that's about as much as I can probably say right now without whilst resisting the urge to basically show it to everyone, you know.
Just show it to us.
Yeah, I'd love
Yeah.
to, but I can't. It's so depressing.
Okay, what was the first Ofnus gig like?
First gig, that was York, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, York. Yeah. So, I mean, that was pretty awesome. That was a Reaper Agency show up in York, Ruin of Jorvik, I think it's called. Yeah, I mean, really, really good. We got an excellent reception. You know, we had a good, plentiful amount of people there. You know, it was a really good show actually. You know, we played pretty well. We were pretty tight. We sold a bit of merch, which was nice. And then yeah, I think all of us were pretty pleased about it then. You know, and we were all kind of sat in the hotel after the show, just all sort of like, yeah, we did a good job. That was a good one.
Yeah, it was weird because it was a sold out show, and we hadn't released anything, so no one knew what we sounded like. We honestly could have been absolute crap, and no one would have kind of batted an eyelid really. But it turned out we knew we weren't because we were well practiced. But yeah, we just went, okay, first gig, happy to go 200 miles from home. Yeah, fine, no worries, let's go and do it.
So you like headlining?
No. We were like
No.
second on, I think.
Yeah, we were quite early on in the day. But you know, I think the benefit was that we'd all been in other bands before. So we kind of all knew, you know, how it all goes and how to perform live and things. So yeah, I think generally we did pretty well on that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good show.
it was. It definitely set us up. And we've still got some people up sort of York way who have been some of our most vocal fans ever since that first gig. So no, it was a really worthwhile one to do.
Sure.
Happily go there again. In fact, we're near there when we do our tour next. I think we're in Sheffield, which is not too far.
Yes, please ask Reaper to book us.
Your tour starts soon, doesn't it?
2 days, yeah. Friday.
2 days, yeah. Really soon.
Oh yeah. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
since this is the BMF 666
Oh, the
forum.
connection's going a bit weird. Oh, are we back?
Oh, I think we lost you there a little bit, Lou.
That's okay. All we need is one of these really, really cool sort of advert things, which just kind of pans over and then goes technical difficulties, and then plays some really cool music.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm back.
I think you are. Yeah,
we got you back. Yay!
Excellent.
That's right. I was like, since this is the BMF 666 forum, and then it just cut out. Since this is the BMF 666 forum, we're going to have some technical difficulties. But we've got to talk about Bloodstock. So,
of course.
How did it feel when you found out you were going to be playing at Bloodstock?
Oh, just amazing. It's hard to describe the feeling we got from Bloodstock. It was just it was pretty much a kind of a dream really to play Bloodstock for me. So I was pretty damn happy when we found out that we were going to be playing, and then actually being there was just like another level. You know, I mean, thinking you were going to play and then actually playing, like, whoa, just absolutely amazing. Just was on a high the whole time. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I think it's bucket list for at least 3 of our band. 2 of us have done it before, but that doesn't take away the excitement of actually doing it with a band that we know really could really sort of impress people straight off from the off, particularly as being so new. So I've done it twice before, but that I was still about as excited as you could have been. when we got the call to say, yeah, do you want to go ahead and do it? Yeah, it's just brilliant, and in a weird way, it was vindication that we were actually onto something good with the album, because we hadn't released the album at that point. We obviously showed it to them to let them know what we were about, but to actually get the call and the head nod was, I don't know, it was flattering more than anything else. It was really nice to have.
And what was the process for you to get onto the bill? Did you just like say, "Hey, book us"?
So kinda, yeah. So we had to
Oh.
apply directly. We had to apply directly, because I actually assist in running the South Wales Metal to the Masses. So I can't enter Metal to the Masses. At least it would look really bad if an organizer entered Metal to the Masses and got that way through. Even if our band was really, really good, it's not a position I want to put anyone in. So we said, okay, we'll just apply directly. So we sent Bloodstock an email, linked them to an advanced copy of the album, which was yet to be released, and said, look, this is what about. Here's a bit of history. Here's a bit of the sort of pedigree of the members. What do you think? And then, yeah, that was effectively the application. It's basically just an EPK to the right email address, and then fingers crossed, because there's an awful lot of talented bands out there who would have been just as good on the stage.
Well, I've just put Claire's comment up there because someone's watching. She said it was amazing to watch.
Oh, thank you, Claire.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, Claire.
We have a viewer.
Well, hey! Hello, viewer.
Important question. Does black metal enjoy waking up before 10:30 a.m.?
No. Black metal likes sleeping in until 2 p.m. at least.
Black metal likes not being at the stage at 8:30 before even the new blood tech. Yeah, because you got to load in and get everything ready, and the new blood technicians, bless them, they're honestly some of the hardest working individuals on the site. They are non-stop, but
Truly,
we clearly caught them before they had breakfast. We hadn't had breakfast. I struggled reversing my van into the most simplistic of spots or following basic instructions. We were a shambles, but we kind of woke up by 10:30. That was okay then, which that's the important bit. But yeah, it was. Would I do 10:30 again? For Bloodstock, I probably would, but
yeah.
For anywhere else, probably no.
No, I think it depends on what it is, as to whether we'd consider an early slot again or not. It's and it comes down to whatever it is, I suppose. Yeah.
Need more coffee.
Even though it was like 10:30 on what day was it?
It was Sunday.
Sunday.
So everyone's even more knackered.
But you got a good crowd, didn't you? It wasn't like 2 people.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I think some of that was good promotion online from our part, and then we also sent our bassist Rich out into the crowd at Bloodstock. We handed out badges, stickers, Bandcamp codes. We knew we had to kind of fight to get a good turnout, and then kind of have a little bit of good fortune with the weather as well, which fortunately did happen. I mean, weirdly enough, just clouds opened up about 45 minutes, half hour before our set, and then a bit of rain brings people in. Happy days.
Yeah.
Or sad days if
and the rain suits the music. So.
Yeah, exactly. We did that. That was us. And then it went away for the rest of the day. So, that was just there for us.
Definitely just for you.
Yeah, we booked it.
So, how did you decide what to play at Bloodstock? Because your songs are a little bit long. And you've only, was it like half an hour?
Half hour. Did we get a choice?
We not really, because so when we chose the songs, I guess, we just sort of chose. We had to put in Grains of Sand with it being the music video single. That was kind of non-negotiable. And Fading Dreams is kind of the short one, I guess. So that kind of had to go in as well. And then the other two, Burned by the Soul and Endless Grey are kind of, I don't know, because they're sort of right at the beginning of the album. We thought, that's probably a safe bet in that, people are more likely to have listened to them. And as well, I think, the Spotify streams kind of help as well. You can see the top 5 songs. So we kind of, pick from there as well, really.
Yeah, I think you're probably spot on there. It's a mixture of working out which ones had to be in there, and then working out what sort of time we had left. Because we got a click track. It's a simple case of we can push play as long as we start at the right time, we'll finish at the right time, no problems. But then once you put one or two tracks in, like you say, they're quite long. You stick in Burn by the Soul of the Moon. That's 10 minutes down. You've only got 20 minutes left to play with. That for us, that's basically 2 songs or 3 songs. Where one of them is the shortest song of the album.
Yeah, and so Fading Dreams has to be in there, because it's the shortest.
Yeah, so we almost like if we've got a half-hour set, you know what songs we're going to play. When album 2
the new album.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. When the new album comes out, we have got two shortish songs. The rest of them are all very
2
long.
on that album or total?
2 shortish ones on that album, and then the rest are long.
Yeah,
including our longest one yet. We make no apologies for this. It's worth it.
Okay. So, how did you prepare for the Bloodstock gig, and was it different to other gigs? For how you prepared?
It was kind of a similar process to every other gig. We get in the practice room. We try and get in quite regularly. I think leading up to Bloodstock, we were trying to do as many sort of rehearsals as we could fit in. And properly rehearse them. With the click track going. And we tried to sometimes set up the room so it was kind of like we were all playing to the wall to kind of get used to that stage thing. And we'd record the set with the camera a bit so we could see how we look, and critique ourselves in that way. So it was a little more intense than other gigs, I'd say. But generally we try and practice quite regularly so that we're well rehearsed.
Yeah, I agree with that. We've got one of these handy little cameras, which we didn't use then, but we're starting to use now to sort of record rehearsals, and then we can kind of listen to them back, watch them back, and see what we're doing and different things that we could be doing better, just to make things a little bit more like a complete concert. Beyond that, we just made sure that we hit up as many sort of channels as possible to promote it. At the end of the day, we were doing our album around the same time of releasing it about a month before, so we had a PR company who were pushing us, which is pretty good. And yeah, just being at the festival as well, preparing for that was just. We did an Airbnb. We're going to give it away now. We part of the preparation was not camping, because the last thing you want to do if you're playing at 10:30 in the morning on a Sunday is camp for an entire weekend where you've probably had naff all sleep, where you're probably fighting 3 days worth of hangover, and you're just thinking, I don't want to wake up. So most of us did an Airbnb. Will, psychopath, camped.
I camped in Midgard as well. Yeah.
Wow.
No, it was great. It was great.
Did you go on any of the inflatable things in Midgard?
I didn't actually. No. We didn't really have a lot of time for that one, I suppose. I was sort of watching all the bands the whole time, getting in the silent disco, and then going to bed really.
Just being serenaded by the sounds of biffa bins clattering.
Oh yeah, you just sort of hear nothing, and then dum.
Makes me sleep already. It's great.
It just soothes you, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's like, home. Someone's got a broken rib. It's home.
Yeah.
So, as you went to Bloodstock, what were your top 5 bands, aside from Ofnus, at Bloodstock?
Ooh. I think for me, I really enjoyed Triptychon playing the Celtic Frost. I'm a little jaded that they didn't play Triptychon's own music, but that's another thing entirely. I really enjoyed Tribulation. They're one of my favourites. They were pretty awesome.
They were fantastic, weren't they?
Oh, they were very, very good. They were really good. I was surprised actually. I really enjoyed Witch Hazel. I'm into some sort of old school stuff. I thought they were really cool. So that was my kind of discovery of the weekend. What else did I really like? Trying to think. I don't know.
I'm gonna say mine because I have to. Abath, that guy, he
Yes.
just brings me so much joy. I just can't explain why. His
He's like a
face.
cartoon.
Yeah, he's incredible. I honestly wrap that man up in cotton wool and never let him die.
Yeah.
He's just amazing. Yeah, that was absolute top for me. And it wasn't even the best performance. I just don't care. It's Abath. Gyria were really good. Or Gyria. I don't know. That's one I'm gonna struggle pronouncing, but they were really on top of it on the Sophie stage. They were proper good. I think gonna shout out to Locust on the New Blood. They were probably the best band I've ever seen on New Blood stage. Full stop. Ever, barring
Really?
perhaps Luna's Call, Luna's Call were incredible. And I hope that they play some more music. But Locust were a complete band. The level of technicality they've got is just insane, and big crowd, big pits constantly. It felt like they should have been Sophie stage straight off the bat. So hopefully we'll see more of them. They were really good. But if you're looking for 5, I'd give you another 2. I didn't see much on the main stage, that's the thing. I think most of mine was on the Sophie. I did enjoy Embodiment. And Candlemass, I thought, were really good as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. They were good.
I give a shout out to Tribe of Ghosts as well, just because they just seem to smash it wherever they play, which is perhaps no surprise. But that's another band with pedigree behind it.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoyed Gutterlax as well. They were very silly. That was a very amusing show.
Oh yeah, but I did see a lot of toilet brushes.
Yeah, of course, toilet brushes, toilet rolls. It was very silly, but it was very fun. So I enjoyed that one just for the comedic value.
I'm very disappointed there wasn't a Gutterlax sort of crowd surf Portaloo like Brutal Assault. Although that's disappointed. Am I disappointed? I mean, that could have been that could have been messy. But yeah.
Okay, I think you've given one of these, which is staying in Airbnb. But what are your festival survival tips?
I mean, in Midgard, my main survival tip is if you actually want to get some sleep, bring earplugs. That is like top.
Or just drink until you pass out. Fine.
That too. Just do both, and you'll have a great night's sleep.
Not a doctor.
No.
Yeah, I've done so many festivals. It kind of feels like I'm just turning up, and I would say never eat noodles is my normal plan, and I've never had a bad stomach by never eating noodles. Pack lighter than you think you need to, and just make sure you save up enough money so you can have a good drink at the bar. Because, well, I'm not one of these people who like going back and forth to my tent if I can avoid it. If I'm actually camped there. That said, I'm never doing an Airbnb again. Actually, I'm going to put that in festival survival tip. Don't do an Airbnb. It's actually not good for you. Yeah, it's comfortable. It's great if you're on a good night's sleep, but then it's the taxi back and forth. I did not enjoy that.
Expensive, yeah.
Just rough it next year.
Yeah, basically.
We've got some more viewers.
Hey, hello, more viewers.
So we've got this one, and I had my toilet brushes out.
Awesome.
I hope they were clean.
Yeah.
All right. Let's need to lower the tone.
That's fine. What are your favorite albums of 2023 so far?
Very, very good question. I'm trying to think what's been released this year.
So it's a weird one, it's a bit left field, but Willow Tip Records are just one of the best labels out there at the moment as far as I'm concerned, and they've released an album by a band called The Anchorette. It's weird. It's also one of the best things I've heard in a long, long time. Totally recommend it. Listen to it if you can. Yeah, it's like hyper prog again. Like they also have an Abstract Illusion, I think, who released one of the best albums of last year on their label. So it's perhaps no surprise that they found another gem out there, but they're really, really, really good. I'm trying to think of some other ones that have been released this year, but I've just mostly been buying stuff which is older.
Yeah, I'm trying to think myself.
It's not a test. I won't make you think of something.
I only listen to 80s metal. Death to 2023 music.
No,
Have you
no.
heard the new Ahab album? That was really good.
Oh yeah.
No, I haven't listened to that. They're playing Damnation, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't necessarily say I follow Ahab really. I have seen them, and they were impressive. I just remember he had a big hat.
It's nice and miserable. You might like
Then
it.
perhaps I should listen to more. I'm going to put that on the to-do list then.
I found the one I've liked the most this year. It was actually Heidevolk's album. Yeah. I was just trying to go through my library then and like, what am I listening to?
Just discreetly scroll through.
I'm like, oh yeah, Heidevolk I've been really enjoying. Campfire, no, that was last year.
New Death Collector. The only Death Collector. Kieran's band. It's actually very good. It's a good head nod to old school death metal. I to be honest, I did enjoy it.
Nice.
Ooh, another one for me was actually a band that played Bloodstock. Was it a couple of years back now? The Crawling. Played on the Sophie stage, yeah, 3-piece doom band. Yeah, they released an album this year that was really good as well. Actually,
I wouldn't be surprised if they're back soon at some point. They're a band that just seem to improve constantly.
Oh yeah, definitely. Their recent album was really good. Yeah, worth a listen.
Just in case we were concerned, it says yes, bog brushes were clean.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear.
All right, that's good.
I was worried.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I've got a few serious questions. So I really want you to think about your answers to these. Would you rather be in Star Wars or Star Trek?
Oh gosh.
See, I told you it was serious.
Can we elaborate? If we're in Star Wars, are we a stormtrooper? If we're in Star Trek, are we a red shirt?
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question. I didn't even think of that.
Because these are really important.
Yeah. Are we going to get shot immediately by the hero, or or can we live a normal life? That's the tough one.
Let's do stormtroopers and red shirts.
Okay.
Ooh. Now, which would I rather be? I mean, I feel like less stormtroopers get killed, so maybe a stormtrooper.
I'm going to go with Star Trek on the basis I might get to meet William Shatner.
Yeah.
Before you get killed.
Mm-hmm. He might even send me to my death.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, exactly. I'm ever the optimist. Sorry, my camera is very blurry.
That's all right. Would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the past?
I feel like looking into the future would be pretty scary. You might see yourself getting hit by a car, so maybe I'd rather the past.
Or getting killed by William Shatner.
Yeah.
I'm also going to go with the past on the simple basis that way I can watch people throw poo out the windows. And that's also quite depressing. I would consider that actually excellent source material for songwriting. Plus, that's not sort of... Yeah, exactly. And it's not still stipulating where you could be 150 years in the past. So, you could go to Spain then, look 150 years in the past, or check America, and, it's going to be all kinds of weird. So, yeah.
Cool. And would you rather vomit on your hero or have your hero vomit on you? Also, who is your hero?
I feel like hero vomit on me would be better. It'd probably be less embarrassing, that's for sure.
Asking the important highbrow questions tonight.
I don't really have any heroes as such because I'm a massive cynic, but I prefer vomiting on them. Actually, no, I don't like vomiting. No, they can vomit on me. I'd rather not suffer. I can just change.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And would you rather be in a real life version of The Walking Dead or Jurassic Park, and why? And I'm proud that I used emojis on
Yeah.
that.
Jurassic Park, dinosaurs, say no more. Plus, all the zombies in Walking Dead are just really dumb, and everyone's really boring. Like, you just end up being stuck in one of those seasons where nothing happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least you die in a blaze of glory in Jurassic Park, you know.
Exactly. I'd love to be an hors d'oeuvre for a T-Rex.
It's love all these little sound bites we can get out of this. Like, Ofnus or soupy, and I'd love to be an hors d'oeuvre for a T-Rex.
Yeah. This is going to be my epitaph.
Okay, so I have got to the end of all my questions.
Excellent.
So I'm going to now hand it over to you. And if you let the good people who are still watching, there's a couple, let them know where they can find you online and what you've got coming up that you haven't mentioned already. Or you can mention it again.
Right, so we can be found online on Facebook, obviously, because we are here.
You're on it.
We are on it. We have Instagram. We don't have Twitter because all that X thing, whatever it is, because no. We have a Threads. Don't bother with it. Our material can be listened to on YouTube, Bandcamp. However, if you are in one of 6 cities across the next 2 weeks, you can also come and see us live because we are going on tour with our friends in Bale, which I think I'm pronouncing right. I don't think it's Bale because that sounds like bale of hay. But yeah, so Friday we are in Brighton. If you're near Brighton, come see us. It's going to be really cool. The opening act is a good friend of ours who actually is a one-man project who literally does everything live, plays drums, plays keyboards, and sings. It's gonna be nuts. So really looking forward to seeing that. Then we're doing London on the Saturday, and then we're over to Cardiff, which is a hometown show for us. Weekend after, we are doing Liverpool on the Friday, and then we're doing the long drive up to Edinburgh, followed by our final show, which is Barl's hometown show in Sheffield. So yeah, if you're near to one of those places, please come watch us. Be sad. We'll bring merch.
Then be happy when you bought the merch.
Yes, but not too happy. You've just seen
yes, definitely. And to add to that, we're also on all the other streaming things, Spotify, Deezer, whatever you like to use. We're probably on it. And future, we've got album 2, hopefully, sometime in the near-ish future. I just need to get the vocals finished for that. And then we need to get all the instruments properly recorded, and then we're good to go.
And it's going to be miserable, which is what we want.
Yippee!
Everyone needs more. Exactly.
Okay, so thank you for joining me and for being my guinea pigs for this is the first one of these I've done in 2 years. So thank you.
No worries at all. Our pleasure. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for everyone that popped in and left a comment, and for everyone that's going to watch this afterwards, because I'm sure that's what's going to happen.
Yes, hopefully.
Okay.
We're going to be a podcast.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm just going to end the live stream now. If you want, we can hang out and have a little chat afterwards.
Cool.
All right.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.